There is no intro. Look at this shirt.
Talk to your shoes. I like them. Whoa, what the hell?
Well, apparently you guys wanted an updated deck list ever since this guy got some dash pack support, and we rock the house at 3 mana with this, because I'm saying, it's breaking tier 1 now. It's a little ridiculous. And you're probably asking, why don't you have a foil leader? And that's because it's bad luck at this point. We've had success with the non-foil leader. We keep it there. We put them down there. So this is going to be a quicker deck list if you want something a little more in-depth, going through each card and what they do and what they serve in the deck. I would recommend watching my national version of this deck. Obviously, it's not going to have the dash packs, but you could just follow along with this video and learn a little bit more of the deck. I'll leave that in the link in the description below. First up, starting with the Unison package, we have 3 of the Demigra, so we cut it down from 4. I honestly think I might cut it down to 2. I don't know how essential it is having it first anymore, but that's the main purpose, is having it first, especially if I'm going first, so that they don't... they can't take markers off unless they're using skills. And then we're going to go next for Frieza's Galactic Dynasty, or just Frieza Galactic Dynasty. I can't even read anymore because it's so damn shiny. You guys know what it does. Makes him drop a card, eats 20k on swing, and he is still the best card in the deck. The next one that rivals him for being the best card in the deck, I don't know which one I like better, but here's the first little bit of dash pack support. Cruel Commander. My god. So this one, I'll go over a little bit. He is in power 3, green obviously, and he has an auto limit 1. If this card has 3 or more markers on it, when this card is played, add 1 green card from your drop to your Z energy, and this card gains dual attack for the turn. So you're just like, okay, whatever, you put a combo piece, you don't have a lot of combo pieces in this deck anyway. No, green card. It says any green card. You know what I put in my energy when I was playing this in the gameplay? If you watch it, Homicidal Clones. Just put it in there. It's useless in my drop. Sure, it's overwhelm fodder, but I don't need it in there. And now that I have a card that I can combo from my drop, get my extra cards out of there. I don't want to see them. And he's got an activate main, which is his +1. He bursts 1, which gets more stuff in the drop for your overwhelm or for reducing costs on your Z battle card, on your cooler, on other stuff. But he gets plus 10k for the turn. So he's a 15k dual attacker, which is nuts. Obviously, this being 20, making him drop a card is really nice, but this also swinging twice at a lethal amount of damage, being on their awakened side, typically they'll only be 15k. Swinging twice with that, making them have to combo 2 cards, is just more of that little aggro hand control we talked about in the last cooler deck profile. So next up with the Unisons are the dual rays. I brought it down to 2 just because we obviously have to fill more slots for these coolers. I still think they're really good. It's another 15k at worst. So if I need to go for game and they got no cards in hand and all I have is dual ray and 1 energy, hey, looks like I win the game. In most cases, let's not get crazy. But Salza, next one up, still another 15k. He's my counterplay in the deck. He's just basically another 4 charismatic freezes that can swing for 15k. So he's super solid, still keeping him at 4. The next one that I cut down was actually the knees. Knees I'm only putting at 2. I think in the build in the last one was either 3 or 4. I think 3. But he's only 10k, but he does have the nice ability where he can lock out cards, and then he also is only a 10k swing, but he gets 2 markers, so that is nice. Next one up, everyone's favorite Unison that I really sleep on is the Golden Frieza Newfound Might. Like I said in the last video, most opponents will think that's what you're trying to kill them with. I think you're just trying to kill them with value in this deck. You want to be able to swing as many times with your 15Ks to make them combo cards, make them ditch 1 here with 1 energy here, 1 energy there. But if they got an opening and they got 3 life left and very little cards in hand, you go for it. Like, why not? Starting with the battle cards now. We still are running 4 Cooler Mighty Sibling of Space. Got more Unisons to search out. We want him to find the different kinds of Unisons, right? And he's another 15k swing once a Unison goes to the drop, which happens every turn, if you're doing it right. Next, we are still running 3 of the Cooler Sibling Cruelty. Why not? Double strike, make your opponent ditch a card. Now, what you're waiting for, some dash pack support, and look at that, they're lined up right under each other. I didn't even plan for that, but you know, I got that hella Riz. That doesn't even make sense in this context, that's why I said it. King Cold, leader of the Fuiza clan, but he is unique barrier blocker. For each green unison in your drop area, reduces the energy cost of this card by 1 in your hand, obviously, and this bad boy has that burst, so it does help him out as well. So this guy's got 2 autos. His first auto once per turn if your leader's a Frieza clan card at the end of the turn, or when this card activates his blocker skill, switch this card to active mode. And then he has another auto when this card activates blocker skill, use one of your mono green cards with 5k combo from your drop area, and a combo the skill's negated. So he's a dual blocker that can combo 2 cards, put him in your Z energy, and he's 20k base, so he's basically blocking for at least 25 each time. This card, I was like, not gonna add into my deck. I don't really care for it. Then I realized he's barrier and also 20k, and on the same footing as that cooler, they both get played for 1, so they can get counterplayed by pretty much everything in the game. Opposed to like Beerus Ball and like the red ones, because they check for power. But he saved me against SS4. Being able to dual block, it was insane. Like that, he is definitely staying in the deck at 2. I was really thinking about peeling him out because having more cards in the deck, I was finding it harder to find my secret rare and stuff. Like I don't think I played my secret rare once in that video, so I was very skeptical, but he took the last game for me, and I gotta keep him in now. We're going with 2 of the Kaioken Son Goku the Furious, same as before. 1 energy, 15k crit, make him ditch a card. Like, why not? Still 2 more of the SGRs. You want to wipe Unisons? There you go. That's your key for the Gogeta matchup. For basically any matchup where they rely on their Unison, wipe 3 markers with 1 energy. You get it to your starting hand in those matches, it's game over. That's why we also have another one on the side. I'm not going to go through the side because I haven't really updated it for this, but counterplays next. We're going to go with Dodoria, bring him with power. He's the only hard counterplay in the deck, and he's really good in the Beerus match. Anything where they want to ramp or in Android 16, those 2 drops, nah. Get him out of here. And very good against Floodgates too. Frieza Charismatic Villain, obviously 4 of those. Free counterplay. It shuts off your counterplays for the turn, so you got to play around it correctly, but you all know that. Super combos next, and that is going to be still for Defending Father Paragus. Why not? You get to draw 2 cards and warp a card after. If he's the only card in your hand, you still get to see 2 cards. It's not like those bottom deck 1 draw 2s. Like, come on, get him out of here. Then we have 2 Dark Temptation Toas. So the last video you saw 3 and it was a shorter deck list. So you might be asking, why? Why would you run 2 now? This makes way less sense. It's because I don't know where the fuck that 3rd one went. Someone stole them and they're gonna die. But I will find you. Furthering Destruction Champa. Get 1 of them. Why not? Get some double strikes in here. Don't get rule sharked from having a Kai. That's, you know. If you know, you know. Dorm Potential. 3 of course. Plain and simple. Homicidal Clothes 2 of, because I still can't find those boos. So we're just rocking with that. And finally, the secret rare that I didn't see at all, Cell Max. Because we want to do some big boy damage for 1 energy. Now, up to the Z deck. So the only one you guys care about is the Golden Frieza Return of the Destroyer. Deflect, Double Strike. It's a 2 cost with 4 Zenkai energy, but you're not using 4 Zenkai energy for him. Z energy, whatever you want to call him. So permanent for each green unison in your drop area, reduce the Z cost of this card in your Z deck by 1, up to 2. So you can only bring them down to 2, but that's still fine. 2/2 for a Deflect Double Strike 20k is really good, especially when it has an effect like this. Auto, once per turn. If it's your turn, when a green unison is placed in the drop area, which happens all the time, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and KO it. And then this card gets plus 5k for the turn. So it's a 25k double strike deflect beast stick that warps basically, or that KOs basically anything they have. Obviously, there's some cards that get around that, but fuck Gogeta stuff. Once per turn, it's got an activate main, 2 green. If your leader is Green Frieza Clan and you have 4 or more energy, play 1 green unison of the specific cost 3 or less from your hand with a marker on it. So, in my build, the main target you want, right, is Golden Frieza. Comes down 1 marker. If you already can empower at least 4, you get his full effect for 1 less energy, which is nice, but I don't know how much I can use it. Obviously, you can use weird unisons like the Dark Broly unison in here if you really wanted to, but it only comes with 1 marker. You get +2. I don't know. There's definitely some cool things with it, but the auto is what you want this for. Absolutely insane. Next one, Jiren the Immovable. Still haven't played him. That's basically how I feel the Z deck in here. The only card I've literally played has been that one in this version of the deck. Frieza. If there's a chance you can get him to drop 1 from hand, 2 energy is just a lot, especially when it's compared to the golden version of him. This one actually not bad. I'm still glad that you can throw it in pretty much every green deck. He's basically a 1-drop 15k that can't be removed until the end of your opponent's next turn, which is super, super good. And he's got other effects for the Dredge Coup leader, but we didn't have a deck list. We just dressed up as Hulk Hogan for that shit, so I don't care. And finally, just 2 Vegetas, because why not? Just fill it out. I would definitely be running 2 to 3 of these, so probably take out 1 of the Gokus and 1 of the Vegetas to fill that in, but only have 1 of those. And the King Cold, I have 4, but I think 2 is the right number. Cooler for 4. Yeah, you run the dash packs, that's what you're gonna do. That's just how it has to be. Feels weird updating a deck so soon from when I did my previous deck list, but if you want to watch gameplay on this version of the deck, I have it posted in the link below. Obviously, come check out the streams Tuesdays and Thursdays on twitch.tv/Kaioken Cards. I almost slurred that because I'm so fucking ready for bed.